Hello everyone and welcome back to Super Auto Pets. I was playing some SAP Versus on the last weekly, obviously not this week's weekly because that's a little wacky. But I was playing that and we got to talking about the tree, and the tree is a pretty funny pet. I think most people would probably agree with that. And I realized I haven't done anything tree related, so I got to thinking, and the obvious solution here in terms of tree builds is to go for the Hyena, because the Hyena switches your attack and health, and obviously, as you might know, I guess I can't say obviously, but as you might know, the tree requires a certain amount of attack that it needs to be under for it to get a coconut. And so obviously, if you balance your team right, you can have a pet that matches that, and then you use the Hyena and you flip the attack and the health, and all of a sudden your tree gets a coconut and is able to do a ton of damage in return. So that was the entire plan. And I got to thinking, well, what's the best way to do that? And my best solution that I could come up with is I am struggling through customs right now. I don't know what's going on, but it's been pretty bad for me. So I decided the best strategy for me to go with was this little guy, the orangutan, because the orangutan gives health at the end of every turn, which means that I can just scale up the orangutan, let it go to work until I get the pets that I need. And until then, I'm getting a bunch of health onto my units, which will then be useful when the Hyena switches your attack and your health. So that's the plan. So let's get the tree in. Obviously, the strat right now is to try to get our orangutan as big as possible, as fast as possible, because the custom teams are unrelenting. Still having that eucalyptus is diabolical. It makes sense to keep it as a perk. I just didn't think about having that when you don't have the koala on the same team. So we're gonna grab a tiger bug because tiger bug's pretty decent, and I would like to stay winning. And good math here. Just good math, and we keep the win, and we're at 5-5. And we have a hyena. And we have a monkey. Honestly, I think one of the main things, for me at least, with customs is the fact that blobfish got moved up. I keep facing this guy. I don't know if it's the same team or different team, but I swear they are always running giant fairy armadillos. And it's really obnoxious. Yeah, but with blobfish being moved up to tier 5, I'm just not taking it as much. And that's really helpful to get your levels up, and obviously the classic blobfish banana pill strat isn't as easy to pull off, so luckily here we get pretty lucky. I'm gonna end up consolidating them anyway because I want a flashlight. Solo zebra, and then we get the hyena in. And well, luckily for me, I don't have the tree scaled up too much in terms of health, because otherwise I wouldn't have been able to get the coconut because the hyena triggers first, and that's something we probably want to avoid. Now we're just going to continue. See here, it's not going to spawn the coconut because it gets more health, which means it's up to 16, and the hyena has one more attack than the tree, so it triggers first. We don't get that. If we have the coconut there, we tie or win, but we lose because, whoops. So I think that's me realizing what happened. And I probably could have just moved the hatching chick over at that point. But here I'm just going on vibes. And luckily we luck into. But we get pretty lucky that it's the tree that triggers first. I'm looking for trees. Celery is really good in this pack, obviously, because that's a +6 attack food that you're giving. That's crazy. Here we have another Worm Jerboa team. And some Rhino. Not sure if there was a skunk or something there. Or what went on with the tree there that lowered its thing so much. See, I know that I can scale it just up there, and that will give it a 1333, or 3313 with coconut, basically. Let's see that in action. And it takes out 2 pets. And then here we're going to trade and trade. And obviously Pepper, super helpful to have in this scenario as well. Now we can put the Hyena up to the front, and it still won't do more than the tree has in terms of attack, which means our tree will still spawn first. Luckily, we're able to easily outpace that team and get the win. There you go. It's a tree Hyena build. I would have loved to run double tree, but I don't think that's super feasible. But yeah, there you go. I think I have like one more clip after this, but I'll see you in the next one. Now here's just a bonus clip with the real Velociraptor, and as you can see, it just takes a coconut, gives it back, boop, we get a win. Also, on slow mode, the Chupacabra's new animation takes so long. Like, what is this? Yeah, there you go. There's the clip. It's pretty simple, and I'll see you in the next one. Man, I love the tree. It's so goofy.